What's going on, guys? It's Redacted, actually in the flesh. Today I'm going to be going over this Mark 17 that I bought. As I mentioned in the last video, I have an airsoft Mark 17. I have to do this one-handed because I have to record with the other, so just bear with me. I will get through a full review. There will be no shooting footage, as one, well, it's super late. It's 10 o'clock, so that's fun. Um, and two, well, I'm gonna be 100% honest. There's a lot of freaking weirdos on the internet, and as a 16-year-old, I've seen some of that crap, and I don't really feel like showing my face or anything besides my hand right now. Just because there's so many weirdos out there. But, anyways. Starting off, I guess, well, let's go tip to butt. Alright, starting off, on this specific one, this is, oh, I should probably tell you guys what this is. So this is a, like VFC gas blowback Mark 17, like a officially licensed replica. It's on eBike. If you want it, it's like $350. I spent my own money on this, which I'm very proud of. I feel like I chose a good gun. Get my shoe out of here. Alright. So, starting off, this is a 14mm negative threading on here, if you want to put a suppressor on. I have not been able to twist this off, and I don't know if that's how you put your suppressor on or not. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Because I don't want to take this off since I live in a neighborhood, and I don't feel like having Karen call the cops on me for having what appears to be an actual rifle in my backyard when I shoot it. This should be a dead giveaway to anyone, I would hope. I don't know. I think there's a lot of Karens in my neighborhood, I'm not too sure. Anyways, flip-up sights, they do not lock in place, but, you know, it is what it is. They are kind of, you know, they will stay in place unless you hit them really hard. I won't show you the sight picture just because, you know, the scopes, you know what I mean. I'm not that why do I always say that? But yeah, the scope is kind of holding this down, so I can't really push it up. And I don't feel like taking that scope off because I just sighted it in. It has rails on either side. So here, if I pick it up and show you, there's a rail on either side. That would be for lasers, flashlights, whatever you feel like. This bottom rail, you could do an underbarrel launcher, which is the actual thing in airsoft. I might actually order one, I don't know. Grips, bipods, whatever you feel like. Top rail, obviously, you would want to use for sights. I feel like that's obvious. You could also mount like a bayonet down here, like a rubber airsoft bayonet if you want, which would be kind of dope. I might buy one of those, I don't know. Moving further down, the magazine. As you can see, there's a magazine release right here. This is for left-handed people. It's harder to use, in my opinion. And if we flip it over to the right side, this is the other magazine release. So these don't pop out like in the video games. You actually have to use some force to pull them out. But once you get them going... Alright, let's go into the magazine for a second. Here's a top view right here. So these are 30 rounds as opposed to the 20 rounds in the real life version. So you put your gas in right there. This is the little button right here. So you can use that to either release gas that was built up in it, whether you had cold air in it and it got hot, so you had to discharge that. The gun itself, actually, I'm pretty sure would use this button to put gas into the chamber. Oh my god, that sounded horrible. You guys know what I mean, right? I hope you do. I'm going to get canceled before my YouTube channel even takes off. It's going to put gas into the gun, which goes behind the pellet. This right here is where the pellets are held. Yeah. The magazine is actually a realistic weight. I'd say maybe a pound, maybe 2 pounds. I don't know. Realistic weight though. I mean, pretty dope, not gonna lie. Getting to the gun. Alright, so you have your bolt release right here, mag release, safety. I'm watching this through my camera and not my actual hand, so sorry if it goes somewhere. That is semi-auto, and that's full auto. Very basic. It has another safety on the other side, of course. Pistol grip. Herder, go figure. So put this in semi-auto. Yes, it has an actual hammer that actually fires down. It's super cool. I love it. Alright, here's the hard part now. It's going to be showing you the stock. The stock is one of the coolest parts of the gun. Shoot, how am I going to do this? Sorry, give me a second. I'm extremely unprofessional. Alright, so the stock here. I'm just going to kind of... you know what? This works. So, like I mentioned in the video in Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, Hand Grenades, push this button down, you have an adjustable cheek pad. 3 positions. This is the middle position. Lowest, highest. To adjust the length here, I keep mine on 2. You roll this little block right here. You see this? And it rolls down like that. Go all the way in if you have T-Rex arms. Or if you're like me, you can go all the way out. Me, I like to keep mine on 2. Now, I am like 6 feet tall, so not exactly the tallest, but you know, you get the point. I'm not small. Oh, I hope that does not get taken out of context. Okay, this is just me regretting my life decisions at this point. Anyways. Oh yeah, this button right here. Actually, push it down. Oh god, okay. Right here, folding stock. So if you want to make it a little more compact, you can. It's just going off the real life model. Like in real life, if you were getting in a vehicle and you wanted like a quick collapse down, just make it a little easier to carry around. This is what you'd use. This is an airsoft gun, so you wouldn't really be going on any crazy missions in a vehicle or something. But like if you were using the real deal, you would want that capability. Just make life a little easier on you. I should mention this is the CQB version, or CQC, whatever the hell you call it. So this is a shorter barrel. The normal version would actually have a longer barrel. Just throwing that out there. Let's get into the bolt itself now. Comes all the way... This is going to be a pain in my ass. Comes all the way... You know what? Put the magazine in, and since there's no ammo in it, can actually load this up. So when I manage to pull the bolt back, there we go. That comes back the full distance of the real life counterpart. Okay? It's not some little comes back a few, like an inch or so. This comes back all the way like the real life counterpart, which is awesome. Last round bolt hold open right here. So either you would take this magazine out and put a fresh one in with more ammo in it. Then you could either pull this back and then release it and it would fly forward. This has no ammo in it, so it caught again. Or, I'm going to show you on this side. You would reach around and press this last round bolt hold open. And, if I can find it. Boom. And of course, you're ready to fire. Something interesting is you cannot put this on safe. I am twisting as hard as I can right now. You cannot put this on safe unless it has been cocked and the hammer is back. I don't know exactly why that is. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But, you know, whatever. For those of you who are curious about what the scope looks like, well, too bad. Because my phone's camera is on one side, and I'm already filming on that side, so, you know, you can't really switch it. Now, if you want to know how to move this charging handle, keep in mind, this is a full review, of the gun. Shoot, hold on. This is like the most freaking immature, crappy video. Like, there's a hole in my sock right there. I promise I'm not a hobo. I have a job. I go to school. Yeah. My room isn't that messy, I promise. Anyways. Take the mag out. Now, let's get into the little, the nitty-gritty guts of this. Actually, real quick, I kind of want to show this off. So, pull this. You can actually pull the bolt hold open back, and it locks. And when you're ready, pull that back. Goes all the way forward, like so. So, to take this apart, take this pin. This is going to be hard to show. Alright, so, just ignore my room, please. I cannot believe I'm going to post this on YouTube. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Take... Where is it? Oh, God. Alright. Take this pin right here that's in the front of the gun. As you can see, it's in that front receiver right there. That pin right there. Come around. That just pulls out. Like so. This pops up. Like so. And comes off. Here you can see your lower receiver. There's nothing more you can do with this. If you want to study and see how the mag release and last round bolt hold open works, that's up to you. Next, you're going to want to take this stock right here, and it slides down and off the rails. This is now just over here. Magazine's over here. Lower's over here. Next up, take the spring, little recoil spring, because this is a gas blowback, so it actually has a little kick to it, as a little recoil spring. Kind of cool. Next, you're going to want to look down into the gun, and you see this little box right here. You're going to want to come and pull this out. Next up, this is the bolt right here, this metal piece. It's pretty long, actually. Goes all the way down here. Either way, you're going to want to come on the side that has the charging handle. Push it all the way back as far as it's going to go. And you have to take everything else out, or else you can't get him all the way back to this point, or else it's going to stop right about here, or here, wherever. But it has to come back to here. Then you just pull it out. And you can see that little hole right there is where this charging handle goes back in. So me, I like it right-handed, or on the left side. If you want it on the right side, you just put it right here where it would be on the right side. So, actually, let me show you this real quick. If you want, you can actually just go ahead and pull the whole freaking bolt out. This comes all the way out. You can disassemble it further. I'm not going to, because I do not feel like putting it back together with one hand. Alright, put it back together. Ring it back, put the charging handle in, and put it in. Take note, this does not screw in. This has a little latch right here, you can kind of see. So you would take it, and you just literally push it straight in. No twisting, and it stays in, because this charging handle isn't going to come all the way back to where to pull out until you disassemble the gun again. So this will go all the way forward, so it's out of sight, out of mind, I guess. Either way. There we go. Doing this with one hand is a nightmare. Then you want to take this little block again. Make sure the rubber piece is facing towards the front of the gun. So the front of the gun, the barrel is facing that way. So you want to take this rubber and face it directly in. Think of it as like you have to put that rubber piece facing towards the bolt, or else it will not seal. And that's an issue. Next up, take your recoil spring. Now if you want to go one step further and maybe this spring breaks, you push this down and pull this out, and your recoil spring comes completely off. Shoot. Where'd that go? Uh-oh. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I gotta find this. Alright, I found it. So, yep, it just kind of slides back on, just kind of like how you found it. And you're gonna want, just how it comes, you're going to want this hole facing towards the top of the gun. My gun's upside down, so it's going to go in like this. But you see, that hole right there is at the top of the gun. Now, to put the stock back on. Stock goes on facing the correct way, of course. Slides back onto the rails. Now you'll notice it will not go all the way on. You have to push the recoil spring in a little bit, put some tension on it, slide it on slightly, just so it holds it down. Then it slides all the way on. This does not latch, so make sure you keep it fully. I like to keep it upside down, just to keep this on. Now, in my opinion, the hardest part is going to be this. Even with 2 free hands. So, you're going to want to kind of put it in at an angle like this, so it catches. Alright. Now, the next part is going to be, shoot, let me get some light on this, hold on. That screw right there, this has to come back far enough to catch on that, to go past the screw. So you kind of just have to use a little bit of muscle, a little bit of wiggling to kind of get it past there. It's almost impossible to do without 2 hands, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, and I'll see you guys when I get this past. Alright. So all you have to do is literally push it back and wiggle it until it goes on past here. Now, I want to say this right now. Do not take this gun apart if you don't know what you're doing. Okay? Do this at your own risk. Make sure you know what you're doing, because there's a million things you can do wrong. If you do it wrong, your bolt hold open might not function, your trigger might not function, your safety might not function. It's a huge mess if you mess up. Now, this is the next hard part. Now, to put the spring doesn't come off the gun, obviously, because it's been on there the whole time. Now, the issue is you can't just kind of push this back in, because this has to go up. You can see there's a little gap. So the way you get rid of this is by pushing this bolt all the way back and then pushing it on and in. So this is a two-handed task. So you would push this all the way up, and then this would snap down. See how there's no gap anymore? And you hold this back while you put the pin back in. And now that pin's back in. This can put forward. Now, you have to test it, make sure it works. Go ahead and rack it again. Trigger works. But you got to make sure your last round bolt hold open works, because that is the other thing that can go wrong. So put an empty mag in. Go ahead and run that bolt back. And in this case, it is not going to function. So, I'm going to take this. So, basically, I don't think I did really anything wrong. Sometimes it just doesn't work. So if that happens, you just take the lower off and then you put it back on until something happens, okay? Keep in mind, I'm not a professional. I did not design this. I literally, my only experience and how I know what I'm doing is because I experimented with this until I get it right. So I am going to go ahead and pause the recording again until I can get this right. But yeah, literally, all you do is take this pin out. Take the pin out. Take the lower off. You do not want a magazine in the lower. When you try to put it back on. So, and you want the hammer to be up like this. You need to make sure this is free and unobstructed, and then you literally just go turn around and put it right back on, just like you did before, just like I showed you. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this with my free hands, with 2 free hands, because it's very hard to do it with 1 hand. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I figured out the source of the issue. Whenever you put the lower back on, you want to have the gun facing up, because remember that little block with the rubber piece on it? That block needs to be all the way at the rear of the top receiver. That's how you do it. I just now learned that. So that's a basic breakdown. This thing shoots around 400 FPS plus or minus. It uses green gas or propane if you want to use that. Just whatever will fill these magazines, whatever you would normally use for airsoft. Yeah, that's all I can really say, you know. However, what's cool right here, it has the actual logo. Usually on airsoft guns, it'll have like Cal 6mm, but since this is an official product, licensed by FN Herschel, Scar H762x51, which is the real life caliber of this. One more thing I want to point out, just a cute little thing. If you've ever wondered what the little thing right here outside the bolt is, all that is a catch for the stock when you fold it in. This little piece, all it does is catches the stock, just so it doesn't go flying around. Yeah. That is my basic breakdown and review of my Scar H, a gas blowback airsoft rifle. This is available on eVike for about $350. Real quick, if you want to see this sight I have, this just kind of comes off. I originally bought this for one of my 22 rifles, but I took it off and put it on this because I almost never use that rifle. I just don't get an opportunity to go to the range too much, being, you know, only 16. What the heck? Yeah, okay, it works. Alright, so this sight has a laser on it. Don't point that at people's eyes, that's extremely rude. This also, if you twist this, I don't know if you can see, it has a glowing sight. This sight was about $30 on Amazon or something. It's just an El Cheapo ACOG sight. It does have zoom, and it does have the ability to sight it in. So it's not like some... At least it works, you know? That's all I care about. Anyways, peace out, guys. I know this was boring. I know this was kind of stupid, but I decided to do something else. So, yeah. Have a good one, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, please. I would appreciate that, you know? It would make my day. I hope I made yours.